Hey everyone, welcome to Mini-Series Monday, where I talk about comic books with 3 to 10 issues and rank them against one another. Today's issue is 2023's Blue Beetle Graduation Day, with Josh Trujillo, Adrian Gutierrez, Lucas Gattoni, and Will Quintana on the creative team. Now, Blue Beetle Graduation Day is about Jaime Reyes, who, after now dealing with the Reach, which I assume in a previous series, he is now graduating high school. But as he's doing that, his Blue Beetle Scarab is going kind of haywire, and now there's a potential threat that the Reach is back. Now, for those who don't know who the Reach is, the Reach are the people who use the Scarabs. I think they're the creators of the Scarabs. I can't fully remember, but I believe they are. And now we see, as you can tell, there's a yellow beetle, and there's also a green beetle. And now all the superheroes within the DC universe, of course, are worried about this potential threat. Now let's get into the rankings, because right now for art, I have Blue Beetle at number 6 out of 8. Now, I think this comic has a very similar problem that I had with the Bloodstone one, where I don't really like the faces, specifically the mouths on Blue Beetle issues here, but they just look like flat plastic dolls, and I don't like how the mouths end up going into the chin sometimes. It just doesn't really work for me. But you'll see throughout what I show, I do think the rest of the art really works well. The costume designs, the setting, the flow of action, they did good on that part. Now, I don't know where to slot this other than in between art and characters here, but in a lot of the panels, well, I shouldn't say a lot, I would say a good chunk, you could see that everyone is speaking Spanish, which I am glad that they're showing that representation. I even get some LGBT representation from my community up here, as you could tell. But having to either use Google Translate or have my significant other tell me what is being said here, it did kind of slow down the pace of reading. You know, I wish they had either translation boxes or do what Hacktivist did with the color coordination and saying what language they are speaking. Now with characters, it actually gets bumped up one from art, where it lands at number 5 out of 8. So I'm a little conflicted on this part with the superhero characters that show up here, because I don't know Blue Beetle very well compared to some other people who might be reading this story, but it does at times feel like some superheroes who pop up in the story could just be a cash grab, but others do seem pretty connected to Blue Beetle in general. I didn't add Ted Kord to this list, as you can see, because that's an obvious mentorship that Jaime Reyes has. I don't know how much he's connected to Superman, Starfire, and the people that Batman has here, but it did make Jaime Reyes feel connected to the world as well. So I didn't jot it down as a negative too much. For Jaime himself, I do feel like you get a good feeling of his struggle, of worrying about his personal life and with his superhero life that's going on around him, especially with his Scarab, which, by the way, is mostly MIA for this book because it keeps talking in a different language. You find out why later, but I also did not know that the Scarabs have names. This one, the Blue Beetle one, is named Kajida. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Sorry if I'm butchering it. But we don't really get to see him in the dynamics between him and Jaime, which is unfortunate because as a Young Justice fan, that was a part that was very fun to me, was their little dynamic between each other. And the best for last for Blue Beetle is the story. As you can see, it got bumped up one more time at number 4 of 8. I do like the messaging within this story of, you know, taking on your fears, but also the idea of trying to be more open with communication. Otherwise, there's going to be some miscommunication. A little bit of spoilers here, but the villain didn't really feel like a villain. The villain felt like a force within it of this comic instead, because of all the different situations that are happening with the the beetles and the scarabs and the potential threat of the Reach. I don't think it hurt it that it didn't have a true antagonist. It did feel a little weird at first, but I think it worked with the general idea of what the story was going for. The reason why it gets bumped over Hacktivist is because in the characters, I thought the Hacktivist characters had a better dynamic and flow with the character interactions. But with its story, I think the pacing gets way too fast. For especially it being a 4-issue comic, it makes sense that the pacing has issues. It could have been probably better if it was the same amount of issues as this one, but I gotta give it to Blue Beetle over Hacktivist for story. And that's what I got for you today for Blue Beetle Graduation Day. It was a fun small read, but seems to be landing in the middle of the pack of my comics so far. Let me know what you think about it, and next time I will be reading 2024's Black Lightning. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Go enjoy some comic books.